Here we are, Zach.
We're here.
OVAthletics.com, STREAMcast. We're just better here at OVAthletics.com.
You know, Jeff, before we jump into our sponsors or anything else,
go ahead.
Some people remember the great game of Michael Jordan, the Flue game. This episode, it's going to be like your Flue game.
Could be the Flue game, Zach.
It's going to be like your Flue game. STREAMcast is coming in hot. We got bunches of views ticking up. We want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors.
How about the United States Army,
The United States Army was huge when they came on board. Be the best you can be, all that sort of stuff.
They came on board with us, and that legitimizes what you're doing. When you get the Army on board with you, and other sponsors see that, and they're coming on board. I mean, we're growing and growing. We have staff, we have writers, we have all kinds of things going out. And to be able to provide this coverage and everything for the kids of the Valley, the United States Army just provides that for us. We really appreciate them coming on board and being with us and being our title sponsor here for the STREAMcast. Back page sponsor for our football preview magazine. So they got the back page ad. There's a QR code here. You can go to our website. A very top banner. You click there, and you need more information about the United States Army. Get it there, Zach. It's great to have them on board. We really appreciate them. We look forward to continuing our partnership with them.
Absolutely. And a huge shout out to our other sponsors. You know, Jeff and I talked about health last week. You know, Jeff went out and saw the folks at Ohio Valley Nutrition.
Yeah.
And, got some supplements, but it didn't quite help him.
I tell you what, though, Zach, it's going to be 4 or 5 days, and this thing's going to be gone.
But it could have been worse.
I've seen other people. They're 10 days, 11 days. They still have symptoms. I can already feel going away. With the supplements, with the multivitamins, with everything. Helping that immune system. Zach, go to Ohio Valley Nutrition, St. Clairsville, Steubenville. It's cold and flu season. I mean, kids are missing class.
Absolutely.
I've got this bug going. It's going around. If you want to stay healthy, go to Ohio Valley Nutrition. Just say, hey, I don't want to get that. I want my symptoms to go away. What can I get here? And they're going to set you up something real nice.
Absolutely. And then another shout out to Swan Sports Shop. I decided today.
Look at that, Zach. Look what you were wearing.
We got some awesome stuff from Swan Sports Shop. Some wonderful Adidas quarter zips. Awesome embroidery job done. We gave the logo to Brad, and it was so simple for them to get that hooked up, get it running, get it rolling.
I don't know what they mean by digitized, but they get it digitized. They put it on a little disc, and then it comes out like that.
Oh, it's fantastic. So it's digitized. All I gave them was our high-resolution PDF of it. Gave it to them. They digitized it, embroidered it. I mean, just awesome work. If you guys ignore my horrible hat hair. I mean, look at that work on a hat. I mean, I haven't seen a logo looking that sharp on a hat in a long time. So shout out to Brad's
great work over there.
Or Swan Sports Shop. Brad did a great job on all this stuff.
Yeah,
him and his folks out there.
You're looking for a little fall weekend trip coming up. Go to see for yourself. They're going to set you up a nice little fall vacation. 2 or 3 days away. You're going to be able to go there. They're going to get you set up with something real nice. Go see the ladies at See for Yourself to get a nice weekend getaway for the fall.
There we go.
Possibly a football game trip.
Yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff planned for you today, guys. We're going to go into our game recaps here in a second. We've got game recap. We've got a new segment that I am blatantly ripping off from a podcast that I listened to. I'm unapologetic in ripping that off. Okay. And we've got our pick'ems at the end to sort of wrap up our episode. So we'll go ahead and jump into some of our game recaps here.
How about we get to the net? We still haven't figured out, Zach, what they call the hardwood, the gridiron.
Hey, we're going to talk about the net on the net.
How about that? There you go. How about we start off with the Weir Red Riders in the Lindsley Cadets playing a little volleyball action.
Oh, okay.
The Red Riders coming in a little under 500. Lindsley coming in with a little over 500 record. So the Red Riders, they go down in the first set.
Okay.
25-15.
Okay.
They go down in the second set. 25-20.
Oh, I think I know where this is headed.
They come back. Squeak one out 26-24.
Okay.
They come back. Squeak one out 26-24. Last set, Zach. So now it's 2-2. Play into 15.
And you had some squeakers there.
Yeah. I mean, you had to play a little past that 25.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They come back. We're 15-12 in the final set. So they win 3 straight over the Lindsley Cadets.
Wow.
To gain the win. So
that's tough to do.
Great job.
That's really tough
by the
to
Red
do.
Riders.
That's awesome.
The Netters. I don't know what do they have nicknames for volleyball teams and stuff. I don't know. Zach,
it depends on the position. I think.
Okay,
right.
I know libero.
They got hitters. They got setters. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I'm sure there's something. If they're not, they should be called strikers, like in soccer, because that's a sweet term.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going for it. I'm saying they're strikers.
Strikers.
I think it's awesome.
Okay. Hey, how about some shout-outs to some of the Lindsley players, Ava Gator and Avery Sadowski and Katrina Spanos, having some great games. Former Sherrard Ram, El Rainey, had a good game for the Cadets. On the other side of the net, Malie Falks for Weir had a great match. Back and forth, some solo blocks for Falks and for Rainey. Great job coming back for the Weir Red Riders. They made some plays there at the end. To get them through those last 3 sets. Just coming back, that's tough, Zach.
Now, Jeff, I think I'm seeing here. I don't have my digital device today to put my articles on, so I'm flying off the cuff
I'm
on what we're looking at with
Zach's
Jeff.
little paper.
Yeah, I went paper. It's weird for me, but in the third and fourth sets, 4 lead changes, Jeff. 4. And we talk about all the time about how a lot of these games are like games of inches, right? You have to take what you're given. You got to fight back. And in volleyball, where that margin of error is so razor thin, to have that mental toughness to survive 4 lead changes.
Yeah, definitely.
4 lead changes, and then only 1 lead change in the 5th, which is crazy. I mean, just a fantastic game all around. I mean, if you don't know what happened in this game, please go find somewhere to read about it, because it was absolutely fascinating. And the lead changes and just sort of the tight comebacks in those last 2 games to force that 5th set in general is really impressive.
How about a shout out to some players for Weir? Kylie Dean had 3 aces. Braylee Lash had 13 kills. Malia Falks again 8 blocks, and Marissa Basaccio had 7 kills. So great games to them. Good job again. Good luck to both teams. I know we're a little more than halfway through the season or so. OVAC championships are coming up. Then the state tournament's coming up for both teams. Shout out to both teams. Great job.
Yep.
How about next? Staying on the net.
Staying on the net. Staying on the court.
We're trying that one. We're trying that one.
The court.
How about the Red Devils of St. Clairsville? They come up. They sweep Harrison Central. Of course, straight sets there, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So 26-24, 26-24, 25-9.
Ooh, okay.
So just looked like wore down a little bit. Harrison Central, they stuck with it those first 2, and the last one, the Red Devils got hot with a big 25-9 victory.
Yeah, that's a big margin for those people that aren't or are familiar with volleyball. I mean, it's a big swing when you see a 25-9 score. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, your hitters got hot or a server got hot, and it was
a server that got hot, Zach. It was Rachel Fiddicle for St. Clair.
I was going to say, when you
served out all 3 games.
I was going to say, when you see a score that is in that margin, somebody got hot. How the classic soccer or hockey sense. Like one of those goalies can take over and just control a game. If you have a server in volleyball get hot, they can literally control the entire tempo, because those serves can be so hard to return, especially if they're coming in low and fast. They can be really hard to return, and it's really hard to get strong net play there to get some kills.
On a little bit of a roll.
Absolutely.
And you just keep right over the net, right over the net, right over the net.
It's like the good shooters in basketball, Jeff. Once they get hot, they're just going to keep sinking them, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. You can try to sit down on the right, you can try to play a little more aggressively on the net, but there's just not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah. How about moving on? So we'll move away from the volleyball court. We'll go to the pitch. I do know this.
Oh,
one.
the pitch.
We'll go to
okay.
the pitch.
Yep.
So some soccer action. How about some Wheeling Park girls soccer? They get a shutout on the road, so they travel to Bridgeport, West Virginia. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they get a big win. 4-0 over the Indians.
Some big contributions from Seneca Heller. She had 2 goals, and then Merritt Delk, I think, finished with another goal and 2 assists. So pretty good for those 2 young ladies. Wheeling Park is going to move to 6-2-1 on the year, which is pretty impressive.
How about Haley Hastings?
Oh, Haley Hastings, I can't forget about her.
In goal, 5th shutout for the season for Park.
That's impressive.
So they're playing pretty well right now. How about some cross-country action?
Oh, okay, cross-country.
And,
all right.
Again, what do they have? Do we call cross-country like a... I don't know.
Is it a course?
It's a course.
I feel like it's a course.
Like a course,
sounds...
but we need a name for
cross
country, like out on the pitch, on the hardwood, on the gridiron, on the course.
Course sounds good, right to me.
That's
but
right.
It
is right. It's cross country course.
Sounds right.
So Mineral Wells, Zach, you ever been to Mineral Wells?
I have not.
Yeah, Mineral Wells, nice place. If you've never been there, go visit Mineral Wells. How about this was the Chick-fil-A Invitational this past weekend that actually Sherrard took place in the middle school race. We had Oak Glen's Hannah Kleiner placed 2nd in the girls race. Then we had Magnolia, Landon Davis placed 10th in the boys race. So great job out to them.
Good job. Congratulations, guys. Guys or gals.
Kleiner for Oak Glen. Sorry, she was Oak Glen. Run 19 minutes and 33 seconds.
Wow.
Davis He had 16 minutes and 56 seconds. So great job out to them.
Absolutely.
Down at the Chick-fil-A Invitational. Here we go, Zach.
You gonna tee one up?
I want to tee it up to you, Zach.
Ooh. Hopefully we don't slice.
How about some golf action? How about Steubenville Big Red and Buckeye Local? Steubenville edges Buckeye Local by 6 shots. The Buckeye Local Panthers were led by Jacob Berry and Preston Lindsay. Each had a 41. Those are good scores, Zach.
Yeah, that's really good.
You know, better than I would do.
Way better than I would do. Coach Cruz and I went golfing a little bit this summer, and we were both real bad, but we had a good time while doing it.
Par 3, you guys each had a 41, right?
Yeah, par 3 was not good for us. Yeah.
Each had about a 41.
We preferred the carts. We didn't want to walk anything.
Okay. And then Steubenville's Nick Nerzik was a medalist at 39, Zach. That's a really good score.
Yeah, that's
good. Really
that's
good
really,
score.
really good.
How about the Red Devils?
Oh, okay.
Red Devils over the Dover Tornadoes. This one by 15 strokes at the Maverick Malin. Shot a 34. So that's another wow.
Yeah, and that's a great course they played out there. They played at the Belmont Hills Country
Belmont
Club.
Hills, yeah.
It's a really nice golf course for anybody who likes golf. I mean, I like golf. I'm just really bad at it. But it's a beautiful course.
How about Barnesville and Harrison Central? That's always a great rivalry. Whether you're on the golf course, volleyball, football, great rivalry there. Hayden Treadway continued 2 over par, 35. Zach, wow, what
2 over par at 35.
Yeah. That's a great score, Zach.
That would be that would be the best thing I've ever shot. Like that's me on like 3 holes.
No, I believe they call this one a quad, right?
I believe so.
So we had Bridgeport, Morgantown, Brook, and John Marshall. So Bridgeport won with a 172, Morgantown with a 174, Brook had a 186, and John Marshall with a 188. So it seems like Bridgeport, Morgantown within 2 shots, Brook and John Marshall within 2 shots.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So again, great job to the golfers there. Morgantown was led by Grace Yawns, 43. Brooks, Garrett Hordick had a 45. And Raymond Steen from Joe Marshall had a 46. So
that's
great
awesome.
rounds
Yeah,
for those,
absolutely.
all those kids. Hey, OVAC titles this week.
Oh, golf coming up.
A, Single A, and Quad A are going to be at Crispin starting at 9:30. The Jones at 9. This was this past week. The Jones at Spidell at 9. The Class AAA and 5A are set for Thursday, tomorrow, at the Crispin Golf Course at 9:30. The Jones course at 7:30.
And then the girls' tournament is in between those two, I believe, right?
Okay, it's in between those.
Yeah,
two.
I think it's in between those two on Wednesday at Crispin.
Yes.
And they're going to all be 18 holes. And like Crispin is one of those courses
must be
that
today, Jack.
today. Yeah, so Crispin's one of those courses that a lot of people sort of take for granted. It's just an Ogilvy course. It's not the Jones. It's not the Palmer. It's not some of those nicer courses, but it has some sneaky holes on it. Like there's a couple that the holes they seem pretty straightforward, pretty straightforward, but then the par might be a little smaller, or you might have a little bit of a bend to it in the course. Just sometimes when golf, you know it as well. I mean, if you go golfing, you know it. Sometimes you take some of those holes for granted, and you're like, yeah, I can drive that far. And then you have a bad tee shot, or you have a bad chip, and now all of a sudden you're behind par and you're chasing a little bit. And I don't know about anybody else, but I always like the back 9 on Crispin a little more, and I always end up only playing the front 9. But Crispin's a beautiful course. I used to always joke it was my home course because it's the one I used to play all the time, even though probably have fed more golf balls into that lake than almost any other human being on planet Earth.
Zach, I can say I've never played Crispin golf. I don't golf too much, Zach. I can remember golfing at Wheeling Park. I hit one off the tennis bubble. I do remember that.
Yep.
I don't know what hole that is, but I hit one off the tennis bubble there.
Probably coming down on 9.
Okay.
Yeah, coming down on 9.
Yeah, I hit one.
I mean, it's literally a hop, skip, and a jump from here. You can go into the third hole at Wheeling Park.
There you go. You can jump right onto the course.
Right onto the course, yeah.
Hey, how about we get to the gridiron, Zach?
Okay, finally what we're comfortable with.
Hey, there we go. Barnesville, the Shamrocks.
Hey, you're honorary mayor out there.
I think so.
You and Tom haven't made your way out there yet this year.
We have not. To see the brand new turf out there in Barnesville, I have to make my way out there. It's a great place to go. Zach, if I had the money, I might actually try to rent a place out there just to say I live in Barnesville. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a great place to go. I don't know why. When you drive into Barnesville, you smile. I don't know why. You just do. It might be the Pumpkin Festival. I don't know. Who doesn't
I don't know.
Pumpkin?
I drove to Barnesville to take track meet last spring, and I don't know. I was a little mad about it, but it could be just because it was early and I only had one coffee.
That's probably it, Zach. Because anytime you go to Barnesville, you got to
probably it. Yeah.
How about Casey Carpenter, the quarterback for the Shamrock? 5 touchdown passes over Newcomerstown in the 41-0 victory. They stay undefeated. They won their 20th consecutive regular season contest.
That's impressive.
That's a great way to start out.
Absolutely.
Tayson Starr had a couple touchdown catches from Carpenter. Trey Tolliver had a touchdown run. Just a great game overall for the Barnesville Shamrocks to stay undefeated.
That's awesome.
Tomorrow, Zach.
Oh yeah, we got a Thursday game. Got a Thursday game coming up.
River coming to Barnesville.
That's Thursday. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. I was like, wait,
tomorrow.
I have this down. This is Thursday, and I was like,
I keep thinking today's Wednesday.
I keep thinking today's Tuesday too. I kept thinking I had a game tomorrow.
Today is Tuesday, right?
Today is Tuesday. Yes.
I keep thinking today is Wednesday.
Yes, that's what I thought as well.
I don't know what's going on. How about we move on? Martins Ferry picks up a victory.
Let's go Ferry.
2-2 on the season.
Coach Kropp getting
a big victory. 48-21 over Fisher Catholic. They busted out to a 27-point lead. Never looked back over there at the Dave Bruni Football Complex. Tevin Williams, if you haven't seen this guy play, just worth the price of admissions.
Seems like he's one of those guys that's going to be in a conversation for our All Valley team at the end of the season.
He has to be.
Has to be, right?
1-yard touchdown run. 70-yard touchdown run. 33-yard touchdown run. 20-yard touchdown run.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How about quarterback Aiden Ludoff? Scored on runs, a sneak at 1 yard, and then a 63-yard touchdown run.
So there's 2 over 60-yard touchdown runs in that game.
How about this one? Lucas Shane caught a 6-yard scoring pass from Colby Kropka.
Oh, there we go.
So Coach Kropp's son there.
That's got to be cool.
Game
that's got to be cool for Coach Kropp.
Touchdown pass.
That's got to be cool. I always think it's cool when a dad has a chance to coach their son in a game like that.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, got to be great. About next, the Bellsville Blue Devils.
Okay, Bellsville.
Over your 100 Hornets.
I'm sad about
14
this.
to 8.
Sad about this.
The Blue Devils go to 3-1 on the season. Garrett Perkins, great game, couple touchdown passes for him. He also scored on a 40-yard touchdown run. Just a great game by
Seems like a defensive battle other than, the one big run. I mean, it's a close score.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a little bit of a defensive bout between those two teams throwing down. My poor 100 Hornets, didn't manage to sting Bellsville, but here we are.
Yeah. How about Toronto? They're coming off that big injury.
Yep.
Zeb Kinsey's out. They pick up a big win, 47-13 over Weird Madonna.
I kind of had a suspicion this was going to go this way. Sort of that get right game by Toronto. Hey, we don't have Zeb. It's time to rally around it. Something that the New York Jets are going to have to find out with the Aaron Rodgers injury now. They're going to have to rally around the next man up. You got to be a next man up mentality. And who are you going to rally around?
How about Zeb's replacement?
There we go.
Russ Dickinson. 11-16, 218 yards and a touchdown. Does that do it for you, Zeb?
Oh, that does it big time for me. Just looking at that, Zeb was highly touted, but clearly he's got a nice core of skill guys and some good linemen. If I'm seeing those sort of statistics off of him,
definitely. Again, great job.
I mean, Zeb's a special player. We don't want to discount anything with him, but just the fact of the matter is, when you see another guy come in and have that success, it really speaks to that strength of those skilled guys and the linemen in front of them as well.
How about this one, Zach? I think, to Coach McLean up there at Brook, big win.
Absolutely
14-9
huge win
over University. And I know Mac's been there for quite a time at Brook now. Could this be a signature win that's going to push that Brook team to 7-3, 8-2. They're undefeated right now.
I think we might want to talk. We might save our Brook talk for a little bit because I got them in our higher and lower segment.
Oh, higher and lower. Okay,
we'll talk all about what that segment is here in a minute. But I think that might be a signature win.
Yeah, I think so,
it might.
Zach.
I think it might. And then a game that hurts us as Marshall County people, but Bridgeport beating John Marshall 72-24. And you and I talked about this game.
Yeah, Zach.
Bridgeport has been running the same offense my whole life, your whole life. Anybody who's been in West Virginia football knows what Bridgeport, West Virginia is going to do. They're a well-oiled machine, and unfortunately for John Marshall, they just didn't have the answer. But there were some bright spots. Kane Martin had a big 69-yard touchdown reception, which was awesome. We coached Kane, and then my boy Mason Markinich was getting some good reps at linebacker, had some good tackles. I like our Sherrard kids. I'm going to talk about them when they're there.
Right. They
both played well. Unfortunately, not well enough, it seems, when you look at the box score there.
How about this one, Zach? Weirton is celebrating 100 years of football.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Friday night at Jimmy Carey Stadium. Beautiful stadium up there.
Oh, it's an awesome
brand new stadium up there. We're big win against Indian Creek, 41-7. They scored first 28 points, first half. Didn't look back. Just a great celebration. A lot of history there. Weirton football.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
State titles, NFL players. They just ran the gamut up there. We're just some great football teams. And it's always fun to watch them play, especially up here at Jimmy Carey Stadium. Whether it's the old Jimmy Carey Stadium up on the hill by the steel mill or the new Jimmy Carey Stadium out by the new school. So great job out to Weirton. Indian Creek falls to 1-3 on the season. But still battling there, Zach.
Right.
I think there's some things there to build on. I know 41-7 is not what you want to see.
There's a couple of teams that are in that 1-3 space locally in Ohio. That again we'll talk about here in a little bit. But I think there's a couple of those that are going to be a little feistier than we think they are.
There was an injury in the game. Wyatt Dome was injured trying to block an extra point attempt. He was on the ground for several minutes. He's taken off the field of the ambulance. Football's always a rough game, Zach, but thoughts out to him and his family. You don't want to see that in a game.
Right.
But you do know it's a physical game. So thoughts out to him, Zach, in a quick recovery.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're moving on, Zach.
You know what? We'll go ahead and hop and take a quick break. Take a quick break here. Give you a little bit of a...
Give you a little bit of break.
Give you a little bit of breather. We'll be right back.
Clear it out a little bit.
Right back here in a few minutes, guys. All right, we're back in. We're back in. Back in after a quick break here.
We're back, Zach. Quick break. Hey, we're going to go back to the gridiron. How about a little Steubenville football homecoming up there?
Surprised you guys weren't there since you were homecoming kings and queens practically.
We were. We made everybody's homecoming.
I'm going to say you're the king. Tom was the queen because he's not here to defend himself.
He's not here to defend himself.
He's too busy trying not to be quarterback of the New York Jets after Aaron Rodgers.
I think I saw that on a network today that covers sports. I don't know if we're allowed to say it.
It's like trying. Listen, he's like trying to be like what was the movie Invincible?
Yeah, Invincible,
where he tries out, where Marky Mark tries out for the Eagles.
I thought you were going to go like the field goal kicking, garbage picking, whatever that was. Do you remember that terrible movie?
Oh my God, what was that?
It was like the field goal kicking, garbage picking.
Oh my God.
It was, what's his name was in that one.
Oh my God.
It was the Eagle. Was he the Eagles?
I think so. Too? Yeah, yep.
Oh, yuck.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut. I think that's where Tom's at. I think he's trying not to be the quarterback for the New York Jets.
Okay. That's what we'll say he's at.
That's definitely what we're going to say he's at.
He might send us a message here during our broadcast.
I mean, we're not live anymore.
Oh, we're not live.
So he'll have to watch it with our 1,000 viewers that we're starting to get now.
Back to back, Zach.
Back to back.
So that works.
Starting to build something.
Hey, you want to get a win on your homecoming. Steubenville got it. Little crazy game, Zach. First, 7 minutes of the game, 34 points total. Teams scored everywhere. Settled down a little bit.
All right. So if you would have told me that 34 points were scored in a Steubenville game early, I would have just assumed it was just Steubenville scoring. When you said teams scoring everywhere, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, so they ended up pulling out the victory, 43-20. It's great to get a homecoming victory. They improved to 3-1 on the season. Some great games. Steubenville, Sebron Felton had returned an opening kick for 88 yards and a touchdown. A great game by him. Anytime you get those kick returns for touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Isaac Hill, again, he's a player to watch, Zach. Just a great tight end. If you want to go see a great tight end play, go see Isaac Hill play. He does a great job there. Aiden Manning, I think, is coming into his own at quarterback. Zach, I know Steubenville had some questions about their quarterback play, but Aiden Manning, I think, is playing into that position, being coached into that position.
Mm-hmm.
That Steubenville coaching staff, no matter what the position, they're going to have somebody there that's going to coach you up. And I know our message boards were exploding that, Steubenville doesn't have a quarterback and all this, but I think Aiden Manning's starting to play really good football. With 6 games left in the regular season, that's scary for the teams in Ohio.
There's one thing that I'm always certain of, is that Steubenville is going to have guys in the right position to succeed.
Yeah.
Whether or not they succeed, whether or not they develop, is up to that kid. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like people like to hate on Steubenville because the same reason they like to hate on Bill Belichick in the NFL.
Yeah.
Reno's done it. He's done it for so long. He's done it for so well that people just get annoyed with that. They're going to have people in the right position. They're going to be successful. It's just a matter of when, not if.
How about, he went 7-14.
Right.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
124 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions. That's a pretty good game.
The way I look at it, if you're going to go 50% on your passing, you just can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I don't hear any interceptions there. I don't hear any fumbles lost.
No.
I don't hear any of those statistics. If you can be a game manager at 50% and still score touchdowns, you can win high school football games.
How about Jalen Minifield? 82 yards on just 12 carries. That's a great game for him.
And we know that Steubenville has a good rushing attack too, so that means that somebody was breaking loose a little bit there.
Yeah, offensive line had a great game too.
Absolutely.
How about just throwing it out to Nia Ingram? She was crowned Big Red's homecoming queen.
Congratulations.
During halftime. So, congratulations out to Nia for being crowned homecoming queen. How about moving on a little bit, Zach? Harrison Central and Union Local.
There it is.
As I debated on what game to go to last week, I was like, do I go to Harrison? Great place to go, by the way, to see Union Local. Mm-hmm. And I guess my dad was telling me today about a place there in Harrison that has the best ice cream you'll ever have, but they're only open till October 1st or 2nd.
Oh wow!
It's like Ice Cream Alley or something. I don't know what it's called. It's like right in downtown.
You had me
at
ice cream, Jeff.
Pumpkin ice cream. They said the pumpkin ice cream is unbelievable.
That's pretty awesome.
So I might have to go out to Harrison no matter who they're playing. Just go
might be worth it. Might be worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah, before they shut down for the season.
How about Harrison Central gets the win this year to avenge the loss last year to Union Local? Great job out to the Huskies. 49-6 victory, Zach. Just in dominating fashion. I told you before the game, remember?
Yep.
I think I'd pick the Jets in this one.
I don't remember who I picked. It wasn't
and
that great.
I know you picked Harrison Central because you said you like the big guys up front.
Yeah, I did like their hog mollies.
They ran for 222 yards. Hey.
There it is.
That's where it is.
That's where it is.
Right on the ground. That offensive line, Zach, I told you they had the big guys up front, and they just dominated the game. It looked like just from the opening, Zach.
Yep.
Great job out to Union Local or to Harrison Central. Union Local got that big win against the Monarchs the week before. Could come back and back that up with a win against the Huskies. Good luck to both teams as they travel on. I hope to see both, especially going out to Harrison, maybe get some ice cream before they close down there. But great job out to Harrison.
And those are both great programs that are always feisty in terms of whether they're contesting for an OVAC title, and then the way Ohio's playoffs is. I mean, they've all got a chance now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Still more than enough time for them to rally.
How about another great rivalry, Zach? Belair, Big Reds.
Belair Big Reds,
And
yep.
the Shady Side Tigers.
That is literally like one of the premier rivalries, in my opinion, in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
One of the premier rivalries. How'd the game go, Jeff?
Hey, Belair picks up their first win of the season over Shady Side. They unleashed Mac Pettigrew. He ran for a pair of third-quarter touchdowns out of the...
Oh, the Wildcat.
But not the Wildcat,
Oh,
Zach.
but not the Wildcat.
The Cherokee.
Ooh, the Cherokee.
The Cherokee
okay,
formation.
All right, I love it.
A big 42-12 win over the Tigers. It's a great rivalry. Great to see them play. Belair Shady Side. I know it took a long hiatus. Came back a couple years ago, and it's a great game to see, Zach.
It's awesome it's awesome. Like, it's just great. Like,
Great atmosphere.
And the schools are so close. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so close. Just a short trip down Route 7, and you're from one to the other really fast.
Yeah, and I know that for a while Belair had a lot more students than Shady Side, and I think that's part of the
reason it fell off.
fell off. But now the student populations are a lot closer now.
I'm so
and
happy.
I'm glad to see that rivalry
Yep,
back.
so happy.
Whether you're at Belair for an afternoon Saturday game or Fleming Field on Friday night, what a great atmosphere for a football game, Zach.
Oh,
So
you can't go wrong with either
look
of those
forward
spots.
to seeing this one every year. Just a great rivalry back and forth.
I think we got to make an appearance at that one next year.
Definitely.
Oh, 100%, because that's such a great game.
Looks like it's going to be a Belair afternoon game as I see the picture
Looks
here.
like
Yeah.
it. Looks like it.
Looks
Yeah.
like it. So good job out to Belair getting their first victory of the season.
We'll
Shady
talk-
Side's coming on. I think they're going to get some victories this year.
We'll be talking a little bit more about Bel Air in our segment coming up.
Okay, how about this one, Zach?
Oh, man.
I traveled up to West Liberty, to West Family Stadium. Beautiful place to go watch a football game. Whether you go
Gorgeous.
up there and watch, Lindsley plays up there a couple times this year. Go watch a Hilltoppers game. MEC football is some exciting football, Zach.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Beautiful stadium, turf, stands, huge, beautiful press box. Just great place to go watch a football game. And it just looks like football. The one side, the visitor sideline, is just all trees lined that sideline. It just looks like football up there.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I went to school up to West Lib for 4 years. I mean, and the facility, every time I go back, just seems like it gets nicer and nicer and nicer. The West family's done a great job donating and really jazzing that facility up and taking it up to a world-class facility. Like, it doesn't even look like the MEC, like, it doesn't even look like that level. Like, it almost looks like an FCS facility almost a little bit on some of those smaller FCS schools.
Thoughts and prayers out to the West family. I know Gary just passed away a little bit over a week ago, maybe about a week ago.
I did not know that.
Big donor to West Liberty.
Huge
He was
donor.
always proud of his West Liberty background. It said he wouldn't have been where he was without West Liberty. Always a great donor. The families are a great donor to West Liberty, not just the football facility, but the campus itself. If you haven't been there in a while, it's a beautiful campus. Go up there and visit.
And even the older buildings like Main Hall and some of the ones like that, they've done a good job of renovating them. I know the library just had some work done to it, I believe. I don't know how recently, but last time I was in there, it looked very different. But it's really awesome.
Yeah.
West Lib's doing some great stuff up there. I'm really partial, because I went through the Department of Education up there.
So did I.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we've got some student teachers up in our building right now.
Yeah.
They're continuing to put out some really good,
They're doing a great
good
job.
students. So if you're looking for an education degree, I always say West Lib's the place to be.
And I know they started a scholarship foundation there. The West family did. Just so thank you out to them and thoughts out to them.
Yeah, so let's get back to our game that we had up here. Up
How about
at West
St.
Family
Francis de Sales Stallions come in from Columbus, Ohio? What famous Columbus, Ohio person do we know, Zach, for the Ohio State Buckeyes?
Ooh, could it be maybe Coach Ryan Day?
Coach Ryan Day, who was in the house.
In the house.
In West Family Stadium to watch his son RJ play. His son is a freshman.
Wow.
In DeSales.
And he played well, didn't he?
Starting quarterback. He completed some great passes there. I was at the game. Zach, Ohio Valley Athletics was there. Not just to go see Lindsley, but to see RJ Day. Anytime you could maybe get Coach Day there. I heard he was didn't go up to the press box to meet him, but I heard he was very accommodating and taking pictures with some fans and stuff up there.
That's awesome.
Lindsley kept it close at first.
Right.
It was a really close game. They just hit some passes, against the Lindsley defense.
So it sounds to me like RJ had a better day against Lindsley than let's say that his dad has against Michigan.
Oh, Zach! Wow, wow, that hurts. Sorry, Coach Day. That did come from me. I love to watch the Ohio State Michigan game.
Listen, my grandmother likes Ohio State. My dad kind of was on them, but like I don't know. I always like take a shot like that because it's a fun time.
Okay, Lindsay ended up falling 30-17, but I'm telling you,
I think that's respectable on that team because I heard they were pretty good across.
It is.
The board.
I think a couple plays here and there, Zach, and Lindsay could have made it a little closer. Their offense really didn't move the ball consistently throughout the game. Whereas I think I think they moved the ball more consistently.
I mean, you and I were never sure what Lindsley was going to look like this year after losing some of those skill players that they had last year. So, again, we'll talk a little bit more about Lindsley here coming up. But it's one of those things I was never quite sure where they were going to settle. And, since I didn't get to see the team, I wasn't sure what the quality they were bringing. But a lot of times when Coach Depew schedules some of those out of town teams, they're either completely loaded or they're one of those ones where you're not sure what you're getting. And then this kind of a steamrolling that happens. And it doesn't seem like that was what the case was here.
Just, Alex Taylor, running back for the Cadets. He had 70 carries or 70 yards on 14 carries, but he was injured late in the first half. He didn't come back out. He had his arm in a sling. So that hurt the Cadets on the ground a little bit. But they made some good plays, but just not enough. Columbus or the Sales was able to hit some passes over the top of Lindsley's defense to put it a little bit out of reach.
From what I'm looking at here, it looks like Lindsley kind of struggled a little bit with holding on to the ball. They struggled on capitalizing on some scoring opportunities that they had there, which is why the score ended up what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, but good luck out to the Cadets.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to have a great season.
I'm an alumnus. I'm always looking for them to do well.
You know how sometimes they say you have some dudes?
Oh, yeah, some dudes.
On the sidelines?
You have some dudes or some guys?
Lindsay had some dudes.
They got some dudes?
They have some dudes. I mean, Jamie Riddell and Ray Kovaleski on D. I mean, they've got some dudes.
They got some dudes?
Yeah, they do. Okay, they're fun to watch.
It makes me think of Colorado. Did you see what they did on their jerseys this year, Jeff?
Huh.
The Colorado.
I watched them twice this year. Like everybody else.
Deion Sanders doesn't give out captains on their. They either have an L for a leader or they got a D on them for dogs. So it sounds to me like Lindsley's got some dogs.
Hey, how about this one, Zach? More money was bet on the Colorado game this past weekend than the entire NFL.
Oh, wow!
More money was bet on. So, Coach Prime. He doesn't like to be called Dion, so I'll call him Coach Prime because I always liked him when he played. And I don't know, I might like him better as a coach, but more money spent gambled on the Colorado-Nebraska game than NFL combined. That's unbelievable. How about the last game we're going to cover here, Zach? The Rev Devils coming to Bishop Smith Field, taking down the Maroon Knights 60-24.
Sweeping declaration pays off.
Yes, it does.
Pays off. I don't think we picked this one, but
Dino Burke had a great game for the Red Devils, and as I've seen St. Clairsville play this year, and OVAthletics has seen Central play this year. Central's down just a little bit. St. Clairsville's up a little bit, so you had a little bit of a mismatch there.
I'll say this: I sweeping declaration with Central a lot. And anybody that knows me knows I'm not the biggest Wheeling Central person. Wheeling Central hasn't been afraid to schedule some teams this year.
Yeah.
And in the past, I've criticized Central's schedule before. I don't know if I've ever done it on the air. You and I talking before. Yeah. I've thought that they haven't necessarily played good local teams. I've always thought the teams they were playing locally were ones that they thought they could beat or like ones that they would traditionally play. Their schedule to me this year shows that they're kind of starting to step it up a little bit and that they're looking for some more challenging games to sort of establish themselves, especially with, the way that, West Virginia is going to realign, potentially could cause a shift with them. I'm not sure where their numbers are at.
With 4 classes,
the 4 classes, there could be a shift there with Central. So, I mean, for them, scheduling better games is going to help them if they end up shifting in a class a little bit there.
Yeah. How about Burke? Again, talk about Dino Burke. Finished with 157 yards on just 13 carries. And I have to give a shout out to Cole Thurberg. If you recognize the last name.
I do.
Chris Thurberg.
Yep.
Okay. He scored on a 34-yard touch pass on an end around. So congratulations out to Cole. Great touchdown in that game. OhioValleyAthletics.com was there. If you want to know more about the game, you can visit OhioValleyAthletics.com.
We were all around this
right
weekend.
Up there. We're trying to be everywhere every week. Just
I don't think any of my pictures made it
we're-
onto our post, but I was down at John Marshall too.
yeah, down at John Marshall.
I mean, I was in the stands as a fan more than as
St.
a.
Clairsville.
I mean,
Wheeling
all
Central,
over. I mean,
we were. There was another one.
I mean,
there,
what did we
so,
hit? Did we hit like 8 teams?
I think eight.
I mean,
or 10
between how many
teams
we were playing, I mean, we hit a
yeah.
ton. Yeah.
Yeah, this weekend's going to be another big weekend for us. How about one more shout out to Marcus Bush with a big sack? I have to shout out to Marcus. I got to work with his dad over there at St. Clairsville.
Awesome.
Eric's a great guy.
Awesome.
Just a shout out to Marcus Bush. Big sack on the day.
Absolutely.
Zach,
It's time.
I don't know what we're doing
It's
here.
time for my crazy segment. All right.
Crazy segment.
The
ready.
the segment it's called higher or lower.
Okay, Zach.
So I'm going to give you a team, and we're going to
Give
talk.
me a team.
We're using the OVAC rankings this time. We
Okay.
might use rankings like state rankings, a little
Okay.
bit more playoff rankings or whatever.
So I know we're
So
using
essentially,
OVAC, so these are
so
OVAC
essentially, I
rankings. Okay.
pick a team.
All right.
I tell you who they are and where they are ranked,
Okay.
and then you're going to tell me whether you think they go higher, as in closer to 1,
Whether they will go higher or should
whether
go.
they should be higher.
Whether they should be
Whether
higher.
they should be higher,
Okay.
or whether you think they'll finish higher. I mean,
Okay.
it's up to you how you want to run with it.
Okay.
Or whether you think they're lower, or whether you think they're like exactly where they should be.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the Class 5A in West Virginia.
Here we go.
So the first team I have
OVAC.
is
We're
of
doing
OVAC.
OVAC.
Yes,
Okay.
of OVAC. Yep. I have Brook High School at 3-0. They're ranked second. They are tied for second with Morgantown, and the only team ahead of them is Parkersburg South. Do you think they are higher, lower? I know we talked a little bit about Brook. I always joke that this segment is brought to you by our OVAthletics football preview.
You can still get available. There's copies still available.
Still copies available. Still a ton of good information we have here. So looking at Brook, do you think they should be higher, lower, or are they right where they should be?
I think Brooke is right now. Can I do this? How long? It's like what can I do with this segment?
As much as you want to. We're playing this by the year.
It's our show, Zach. And I can do what I want.
Do whatever you want, yeah.
How about Brooke is where they should be? And I know everybody's like, yeah, they're undefeated, but I think they earned that spot.
I think they
They
kind of
got
have
some good
too.
wins. Okay. I think
I thought that university score was an error. When I was at that John Marshall
Yeah.
game and I heard them say it, them versus university, I was like, wait, what now? Like, that's awesome for Brook.
I think they're going to finish lower.
Okay.
They do have a couple tough games.
They do.
But 5A has some great teams in it. They're going to finish a little lower, but not much lower. I think they're going to finish in the top half of the 5A. Is that good for my
I absolutely. Now, Jeff, when we were first talking about this, we looked at their schedule, right?
Yeah.
So they played Ripley, Indian Creek, and University.
Okay.
None of those teams are overly slouch. They've got North Marion, who I think they should beat.
Yeah.
They've got Watkins Memorial, who we went and looked up, and I feel
Yeah.
like they have a chance to beat them. Bridgeport, West Virginia.
That's going to be tough.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one for the Bruins. So let's say that's a loss.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they've got Oak Glen and John Marshall. Oak Glen they should beat.
I think.
John Marshall,
That'd be a great
I
game.
feel like they'll beat, but I think it's going to be close.
This will be a great game this year.
That's one of those rivalry games that's always close. And then they've got Wheeling Park, who I feel Wheeling Park will beat them,
yeah.
unfortunately. And then they've got Weir to end the
That's gonna be
season.
another great game. Weir Brook.
Brook
Great game
could
to end the
potentially finish 8-2 on the year, Jeff.
I know.
Looking at that schedule,
I know.
8-2. So we think they're right around where they should be, right? But you
Right
think they're
now,
gonna
but they'll finish lower.
finish lower. Okay.
They'll finish
Yep,
lower.
absolutely. Okay. So then this one's a little hard to deal with. We've got John Marshall at 0-3, ranked dead last in the 5A football standings. They can't go lower. Should they be higher, or do we think they're right about where they should
Okay,
be
Zach,
right now?
I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
Is this Bill Parcells? You are what your record says you are.
Ooh. Is it? Is it with John Marshall?
And they're 0-3, so that's where they are now. They will not finish last.
Oh, won't finish last. Okay.
They will not finish last. in the
Okay,
5A
I like
standings.
that. I like
They
that.
will not finish last.
So you think they'll finish higher, but for right now they kind of are where they are.
They are where they are, but they'll finish higher.
Because they lost the tough.
So I'm gonna go higher on this
They lost a tough one, and then last week they got a. They could have had
A
100.
buzzsaw, yeah.
They could have had 100 hung on them if they didn't start subbing. I mean, I watched that game. It was tough. So John Marshall, we think they will finish higher, but right now
They'll finish higher.
they kind of are where they are.
They are where they are, but they'll finish
They've
higher.
got a classic. They got a classic
If I had to
case.
pick higher or lower, higher.
Higher.
Brook, lower.
Yeah.
How's that?
There we go. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
that'll
how you
work.
want the
Yeah.
segment to go, I think.
Yeah.
I had to pick higher or lower, and I
fine.
did with
Yeah.
Brook,
Yeah, there we go.
but I just did.
John Marshall can't
Brook
go lower.
lower,
Yep.
John Marshall higher.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Brook where they're at right now, they're at where they should. Like both
Yeah.
of these teams, I think are where they should be rankings wise. But I think they'll meet in the middle a little bit here. But I mean, anything can happen. Okay, so that's our Class 5A. Then we're going to jump down
Okay.
into Class 4A. So I only have one pick here. We've got Edison at 4-0. They are ranked second. Let me scroll down here.
Okay.
But they're only behind Weir, who has played one less game than them. Do we think Edison should be higher or lower? They also have a tough Beaver local team behind them. They've got St. Clairsville behind them. They've got Harrison Central behind them.
This is sweeping declarations.
Oh, okay. Sweeping declaration. Okay.
Edison will finish lower.
Okay.
No offense to the Wildcats. Their facilities are unbelievable. Great team last year. Good team this year. But boy, I just look to see what's below them. Beaver local, East Liverpool, St. Clairsville, Harrison Central. I just can't see them finishing second. Now, saying that, Zach, right now I think they should be higher because they're 4-0 versus Weir's 3-0.
I think they should be higher right now. I agree with you. I think they're probably going to end up finishing lower. So they've got 4 games in.
Okay.
So they've got Steubenville Central Catholic left, Toronto, East Liverpool, Buckeye Local, Harrison Central, and Indian Creek. So they play all the teams pretty much that are behind them in the rankings feasibly.
And I think they got some winnable games in there, Zach.
I think they do too, but
they're going to finish lower.
I think they're
should
going
be
to
higher now. We'll finish lower.
So higher now, finish lower. I like it.
You like
I
that part?
I like
Can
that.
I do that with
I like
the segment?
it. Absolutely, yeah. Okay. It's our segment. We can do whatever the hell we want with it. All right, so we are going to come to 3A. So we're going to go down to 3A in the OVAC.
Okay.
I've got 2 teams for you here. Right now, Lindsley is 2-1.
Okay.
They are ranked 4th.
Higher.
Higher?
They should be. They will be.
Should be and will be.
I'm going Lindsley.
So they've got Fort Fry, Barnesville, and Union Local ahead of them right
Zach,
now.
I thought I told you earlier. Lindsley's got some dudes.
They got some dudes. Okay, so Jeff said they should be higher and they will be higher. So that's pretty easy.
That was easy.
Now we come to one that's near and dear to our hearts. Bel Air is at 1-3. They're ranked 8th. But that 1-3 schedule, their 3 losses were all tough teams, weren't they?
They are.
So are they where they should? Are they higher, lower? Right now,
I'm gonna go. They should be.
They've got a 1-2 Wheeling Central team ahead of them.
I'm trying to look like who's above them in the standings, and I look at a couple teams, and I think they could beat them.
Now the ranking right now, guys, just is based strictly off win-loss points. How the OVAC calculates it.
Yeah,
we're kind of using this like power rankings, like NFL, ESPN does, or whatever. Like
I'm gonna go with Bel Air should be higher, and they'll finish higher.
So we're gonna same exact thing with Lindsley. So they should they should be higher now.
Both teams
and we'll
in the
finish higher.
AAA
Now
should be higher.
Again,
will be higher.
No knock on the OVAC. They have their formula for how they calculate these rankings. But we're kind of using them like they're opinionated as opposed to just cold hard facts because it makes the segment more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go down to Class 2A. This is the one that just I don't get.
Okay.
Steubenville Catholic sits at 4-0, yet they are ranked 5th.
And I believe that has to do with teams you play in the OVAC.
Right, but they have
count as less points than OVAC schools. So there's like I believe when they do their
formulas,
they try to get you to play OVAC schools.
Absolutely, yeah. So they weight them, I think.
They weight them more than schools that are the OVAC.
Okay.
So you still get points,
higher,
but not as many.
So higher or lower here, right? So Steubenville Catholic is at 4 or 4-0, but they're ranked 5th. Directly ahead of them, they have River, Southern Local, then Toronto and Caldwell are at the top of the class.
I think Steubenville Catholic is right where they should be.
I think they're kind of in that.
I like it. The 5th.
Yeah,
right where they should be.
They're kind of in that just right space, aren't they?
And you want me to go higher or lower? I go because they're right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to go. Is that my middle? Like it's higher or lower? I have to go or.
We'll call the segment higher or lower, but like just right is fine. Like they're where
higher or lower or just right.
I mean, I don't want to rename it, but higher or lower sounds better.
Higher or lower,
it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I think that's why I just went with the or.
Yeah,
because it's the name
the
already.
Or. Yeah, I think they're right around where they should be. Yeah.
They're the or.
Yeah, I think they're right around where they should be. That one's an interesting one. And then so Class 1A, this is one I picked that I feel like could go either way. The Cameron Dragons are ranked 3rd right now at 2-1.
Okay.
Are they higher or are they lower?
They should be higher, and they will be higher.
Ooh. I think they should be higher right now, but I feel like if they don't find their identity, they're going to finish lower. I think that
lower.
loss. I think that loss they had, that was their first
West Green.
I mean, it was a regular season loss. Cameron doesn't normally lose regular season games,
Yeah.
so I was afraid what was going to happen to that mentality there. I mean, they had their get right win already, so we'll see what happens. But it was one of those things like, I don't know. I have this sneaking suspicion. No offense to Coach Myers, good friend of the show, but I've got this weird suspicion around Cameron this year. I think if they fumble one more bag, I think they're going to slide down a little bit. Now they may not slide down in the OVAC because of who else they've got around them in that single A bracket
That's why
right now.
higher.
Yeah, I think
they should be higher. I know the two teams above them should be higher.
Yeah, I keep thinking.
Higher.
I think they'll finish higher. You're right. Yeah, they'll finish higher. I don't know if they'll win it outright this year. I mean, Valley's playing well right now. They haven't lost a game.
Valley.
Did they play Valley?
Yeah, we'll
see what happens.
Take a look at our OVAC or our OVA Athletics football preview. They have Valley coming up October 6th.
Valley coming up.
They go to Pine Grove, so that's not an easy trip.
No, it's not.
But I think they're going to win that game.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where they end up. I really am. I'm interested to see where they end up.
I like them. And Zach, they have Oak Glen.
Ooh, that'll be a good game.
Which, if you notice, Oak Glen is not in 1A.
They're not in 2A.
Oak Glen's not in 2A. Oak Glen's in 3A.
In 3A in OVAC,
so I think Cameron's going to get a victory and get some points for that one, too.
Yeah, if they get a victory
and
there, that's huge points. That'll jump
That's
up.
why I got to go higher.
Do you think they're better than Oak Glen?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I guess we'll have to see there. So that's our over-under segment, or higher-lower, sorry. Higher-lower, not over-under. That's the name of the robotics game that I'm playing this year because my brain hurts.
That's
and
all
I
right.
can't remember it. Okay, so that's it for our higher-lower segment. Let us know what you guys thought about that in the comments or on the forums or whatever. I think it's a little bit of a fun segment. If you guys have other rankings, let us know.
Yeah.
If you want to post your rankings, maybe that's something we could do. We could get a forum post going, and we can say, "Hey, can you rank these teams?" or something like that. We can use some of those.
I think we do it. I think on the message board, somebody always starts.
We can take a look at that,
like big school, small school.
Yeah, we maybe take a look at that. When I'm not putting it together like 5 minutes before our segment starts.
Hey, it seems like you put it together 5 days before that.
Put it together pretty quick. Okay, so now we're going to come to our pick'em segment for the week.
Here we go.
Okay, so here's the thing: our records have been compiled. User John Marshall looked at it. I have a 1-point victory over you right now over our two weeks of pick'ems.
Okay.
I'm leading 11 correct to 10. You're 10 correct. Neither one of us is in this fighting at all because we have too inconsistent of a release schedule.
Okay.
But here we go. So we've got our pick'ems. Our first game.
I got it.
I don't know how you're going to pick this one, Jeff. I don't know how you're going to pick this one.
Okay.
2 schools that you love. We have River at Barnesville.
Zach, the first game, high school game that OVAthletics covered after Tom and I took over was River at Barnesville last year at River.
At River, yeah.
That I was there. But Zach, they have to add, again, 10 weeks to the football season. You have to get to River to watch a football game. Great place to go. Hannibal, a great place. Just, but it's Barnesville. It's at Barnesville on the new turf. River going to Barnesville.
I got Barnesville too. I got Barnesville too. I think
Yeah.
Barnesville just makes too much sense here. They're loaded. Tayson Starr's a stud.
He's back.
Book it. Book it.
Yeah.
Book it. All right, so we have Frankfort, West Virginia, traveling to Weirton to take on the Red Riders.
Frankfurt sometimes has some good football teams, but they're coming to Jimmy Carey Stadium after a big victory. We're Red Riders.
Jeff and I are doing this thing. We're picking the same people. We need Tom here to have a contrarian. Yeah. I'm going with the Weir Red Riders as well here. I'm going Weir. All right, we have Washington, West Virginia coming to the Monarchs of John Marshall High School.
John Marshall gets right this week. They took one on the chin last week against Bridgeport, but they did put up 24 points. They're going to put up some points in this game. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to get victory over Washington.
I have a tendency to pick with my heart versus my head a lot of times.
Yeah,
it's not going to be one of those this week. I'm going to pick Washington. Okay. John Marshall has to prove to me that they can be better before I pick them again.
Okay.
I mean, that's where I'm settling at right now. I mean, Bridgeport's a tough team. They are. But I just think John Marshall's lacking an identity right now, and they got to find it. Are they a power run team?
They're going to find it in this game.
Are they a power run team? Are they a spread team? Are they a strong defensive team? What are they? I don't think they know yet. I don't know if Coach Caesar knows yet. I know the transfer that happened in the offseason sort of threw not necessarily their game plan into flux, but they just weren't sure where they figured out. I don't know what John Marshall's identity is. And until they know, I don't think I can pick them. All right, we have... Oh, boy, did I mess this one up?
I don't know.
Latonia at Wellsville.
Oh, yeah, Latonia at Wellsville.
Latonia. I must have miswrote it. Latonia at Wellsville.
I'll go Wellsville since they're the OVAC.
You know that.
Wait a minute. Can I change my pick already?
Sure.
Because I see Wellsville up there. Bringing up the rear 0-4. I'll go to Latonia.
You saw the same thing I did.
Latonia.
I know nothing about them.
Neither do I, but...
Do you pick the OVAC school or do you pick the O for school, Jeff?
I'll go Wellsville.
Wellsville?
I'll go Wellsville.
I'll be contrarian. I'll pick Lutonia.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be a contrarian here. All right, so we have Bellsville at Clay Battelle.
Oh.
Traveling down to the CB land.
Bellsville and Clay Battelle. I gotta go Blue Devils. Gotta go Bellsville. They're having a good 3-1. They're having a good season.
I made a new sweeping declaration last week, remember?
I do.
It was anyone who lost to the 100 Hornets, I will not be picking. Bellsville for me. I'm picking them. Clay Battelle, sorry, you got to get the stink of that loss off you, and you didn't. You haven't yet.
Yeah.
All right, so then we have... Oh, boy, what did I write here? This is what I get for writing stuff down, Jeff.
Why don't you let me read it? I got it.
I think I'm right.
You have Martin's Ferry at Newcomer's
That's
Town.
right. Yep, Martin's Ferry. Martin's Ferry at
Why do
Newcomer's Town.
I get your writing? I
wrote it, and I was like, oh boy, I'm pretty sure that's Ferry. I was like flipping through our wonderful OVAthletics guide to make sure I didn't mess up the pick.
Let's see. Did Newcomer's Town play somebody this past weekend?
They just played somebody tough. I don't remember who.
I don't want to go against Coach Kropp. I got a good Newcomer's Town, though.
How far a drive is it from Ferry to there?
To Newcomer's Town?
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half or something like that.
Bus lag. Newcomer's Town. I'm picking them.
There you go.
I'm picking them. All right. So this is a game that might be in contention for one to go to. I know you guys love River Bells or Barnesville, but we have the Battle of Parkersburg. Parkersburg at Parkersburg South.
You know, Tom loves, you love, right? Or have you ever been there?
I have.
Now, you travel to Parkersburg, you stop and go to Wings, etc. Then you go to Parkersburg South, and you watch the Patriots beat the Big Red at home. Parkersburg South.
I have Parkersburg South as well. I think Parkersburg is on the up.
They're improved. Yeah,
they're on the up. They're improved, but I just don't think they've improved enough to knock off South yet.
Okay.
All right, then we have Southern Local at United.
Southern Local and United? Mm-hmm. I'll take Southern Local.
I'll pick United. I'll take the home team there.
Okay, you take the home team. I'll take
the home team. We'll just go opposite here. All right, then we have Utica, Ohio, traveling to Indian Creek.
I'll take Utica.
Utica?
I'll take Utica. Indian Creek, like I said, Creek's down. You can look at the record. They're 1-something. I think this year.
1-3 maybe.
Yeah, 1-3 this year.
1-3.
I'll take Utica.
Yeah, I gotta go Utica. I gotta go Utica there. I gotta go Utica there. And then we have Indian Valley at St. Clairsville.
I'll take St. Clairsville. They're rolling.
I'm going St. C as well. And then
our
tiebreaker is the score of River and Barnesville.
Barnesville 34. River 20.
I'm going Barnesville 45.
Woo.
River 43.
Oh,
shootout, baby!
Shootout,
baby!
Shootout.
I don't know why. I got a crazy idea about a shootout there. I mean, the numbers probably don't even add up because I just picked them randomly to make it close. But hey, what the hell? 45-43. Let's do it. Awesome episode. A little bit. We said it was going to be shorter, and here we are, still at an hour of recording
I don't know what
time.
Happens to us.
It just always happens. We go to this little zone, and then here we are for an hour, sitting talking about Valley sports. It's awesome.
Thank you again to United States Army coming on board and being a sponsor of ours. When they do that, Zach, they allow us to give back to the kids of the Valley. They let us to do the shows like this, to do the great Ohio Valley Athletics football preview. U.S. Army right here on the back. It even has a QR code. I don't know if you can scan it from this video, but you might be able to.
Might be able to.
You might be able to. If not, go to our website. Go to the homepage right at the top. The U.S. Army's right there. Click their banner ad. Sign up. Get some more information on joining the United States Army. Zach, great career start for you. They're going to pay for some schooling. They're going to train you in anything you want to do.
Absolutely.
But just thank you out to the United States Army for coming on board and being one of our sponsors and continuing to be one of our sponsors, Zach. We really thank them. We appreciate everything they do for us. And everything they do for the kids of the Ohio Valley.
But then a huge shout out to all of our other sponsors: Ohio Valley Nutrition, Swan Sports Shop, See for Yourself. Yeah. We don't have a huge amount of time here left, but thank you for all of our sponsors. Thank you to you guys for viewing. I mean, obviously we're coming out and viewing. Yeah. Be sure to mash the like, subscribe button, all that sort of stuff.
Definitely, Zach. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Again, visit Ohio Valley Nutrition, Steubenville, St. Clairsville. They're going to set you up with everything you need during this cold and flu season. Ohio Valley Nutrition, Swan Sports Shop. Thanks again to Brad out there in Swan Sports Shop, and see for yourself, Zach.
Go watch some sports this week, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go. Go watch some sports.
High Valley Sports.
It's awesome. Great stuff in the Valley.